Hello friends, welcome to the platform of Darshanik. This is Kadam. So guys, today on this platform of Darshanik, we are going to continue our discussion of administrative ethics. And so in administrative ethics, last many lectures, we were discussing this topic of ethics and values in public administration, ethical elements in governance, aptitude or foundational values for civil service, or implementation of higher values in governance. All these points to the same point, okay, or have same meaning. So guys, till now we have discussed a lot of values, economy, efficiency, effectiveness, many more I have discussed, more than 20-25. So and in last lecture I told you that we have done with all the values. So then why I am discussing this topic? So here guys, I am not going to discuss any new value, but point that I wanted to explain you is that in this lectures, our administrative ethics classes, we have discussed so many things, okay, and covered everything so comprehensively, okay. Uska proof that I wanted to give you. So in our classes, whatever values we have discussed, okay, there was all these values that we have covered. So guys, in 2006, when Manmohan Singh government was governing India, that time they tried to bring one law, that is Public Services Bill 2006, or second initiative for public service values, okay, or Public Service Bill 2006. Now this bill guys wasn't passed, let me tell you in the beginning, it was lapsed. Because it was very open-ended, or there were some issues, or it tried to cover a lot of areas. But guys, especially this value wanted to focus on ethical elements in governance, or foundational values it wanted to talk. So I will just give you major pointers from that bill, okay, and when I will read some these points for you, automatically you will realize that all the whatever this bill talks about, whatever values we have discussed till now, okay, these values all are covered, okay, or this entire bill gets covered automatically in the values we have discussed. So let's discuss this Public Services Bill 2006. Okay, so in 2006, Department of Personnel and Training drafted a public service bill which enumerated fundamental values of public service, a code of ethics or a management code, etc. So we have discussed code of ethics, code of conduct, everything, what they mean, etc. With the object of developing public services as, now see what the bill is saying, what was the objective of the bill, as professional. Okay, we have discussed what is professionalism in civil services very well. Politically neutral, we have discussed political neutrality value in detail. Then merit based bureaucracy means objectivity in governance, we have discussed that objectivity also. And accountable civil service, okay, accountability. So these four values are very important, they are mentioned in your syllabus also. Bill also talks about these values. All these values we have covered thoroughly. Okay, so going in detail of some important pointers in the bill, let's see what the bill is saying. So the main values by which public servants shall be guided are as follows. Okay, first, allegiance to the constitution and the law, democracy, nationalism, sovereignty, integrity of India, and security of the nation. Okay, so remain politically neutral, impartial, and serve the country. Okay, that I told you that you should have spirit of the service, sense of the duty, and your allegiance towards the nation, towards the constitution, towards the sovereignty of the people. Then function in a political manner. I told you, doesn't matter all other values, most important is political neutrality. Why? I have explained you almost 2 hours. We discussed political neutrality very much in detail. Okay, so bill also mentions that value in the beginning first. So function in a political manner. Then C point, what bill says, act objectively. We have discussed objectivity, merit based decision, quantifiable decision, no subjectivity, biases, opinion. Then impartially. Okay, be fair, be just, and if you want to be fair and do justice to the people, be impartial, treat everyone equally before law, and protect everyone's rights equally. And impartiality, I told you, violates through many ways. No favoritism, cronyism, patronage, nepotism, everything about impartiality. We have discussed this. And how impartiality gets violated is through nepotism. We have discussed nepotism, and acting by a politically biased manner. We have discussed that. So I have taught you and established relation between justice, fairness, impartiality, nepotism, political neutrality, everything we have discussed in detail. Then honesty, I told you it's one part of integrity only. Okay, honesty, sincerity and uprightness, moral uprightness, all combined give rise to the integrity. And then equity. along with equality and equity. So I told you, you need to do justice in governance. To do justice, you need to be fair, and fairness के जो दो parts है, equality and equity. So equity, treat different people differently. We have even discussed that. And in a fair and just manner. So fairness and justice. So justice is a very wide term. उसमें I told you, justice के different parts. So fairness is one part, and under fairness, equality, equity, impartiality, etc. Then I told you protection of fundamental right, that is justice. Then social justice we discussed separately. Then I told you organizational justice, procedural justice, interactional justice, distributive justice. Then we also discussed principle of natural justice. Okay, legal justice, or legal justice में principle of natural justice, retributive justice, reformative justice. So in extreme detail we have discussed the idea of justice. So whatever this bill talks about, we have thoroughly covered all the points in our previous classes, in our app classes. Then act with integrity, that we have discussed, and say how integrity different from selflessness, honesty, etc. And in a courteous and just manner. So act in a courteous, just manner, okay, in a compassionate manner. Okay, and courteous and just also covers automatically, that is with civil service orientation, with the humility. Okay, you should be a person with low on power distance. Okay, that is act with humility or with civil service orientation, that is courteous and just manner. And I discussed with you the difference between master mentality, Mai Baap Sarkar, and service mentality. Then establish high standards and ensure quality service. Okay, so establish high standards and ensure quality service. Okay, focus on quality, and when I told you quality pay, then economy and efficiency, quality delivery of the services, citizen centric administration, etc. And along with that, effectiveness. So economy, efficiency, quality, and effectiveness, outcome driven, goal oriented, result oriented operation or administration, working, and prompt decision making. Prompt decision making means, again, economy efficiency covers prompt decision making, but it also covers responsiveness, that we discussed, that government should respond in a quick way, timely manner, etc. So that responsiveness, and to be responsive, you need to be sensitive, you need to have empathy, you need to have compassion in your governance and economy efficiency. So if you want to have prompt decision making, so prompt decision making, if you want that, or what simply means responsiveness, then I told you that to improve responsiveness, first you need to have a empathy, compassion, sensitivity towards the public, and along with empathy, compassion, sensitivity, okay, efficiency is very important. Then only you can act in a take a prompt decision, prompt decision making. Then be accountable for the decisions. So we discuss accountability in detail, and accountability and transparency, two pillars of good governance, very mandatory things. And in accountability, I told you how it realizes idea of democracy by the people and of the people. And in accountability, we discussed two types of accountability, external and internal. And also I discussed with you one new concept coined by Justice Chandrachud, that is triple chain of collective responsibility. Everything we have discussed in extreme detail, very thoroughly. Then establish merit as the fundamental principle in employment, promotion, and placements. Okay, so establish merit as the fundamental principle in employment. So we discussed this meritocracy concept in objectivity, and also in justice we discuss organizational justice, and organizational justice we achieve through distributive procedural justice, so and interactional justice. So in distributive and procedural justice, I discuss with you whatever the awards, rewards that organization distributes, or procedures that organization uses to hire people, fire people, promote people, transfer people, everything should be based on clear-cut, quantifiable criteria, merit, performance indicators, etc. So we discussed all these ideas also in very thoroughly, in very detail. Then guys, discharge function with due regard to diversity of the nation or community and religion, but without discrimination of caste, community, religion, gender, or class, and duly protecting the interest of poor, underprivileged, and weaker sections. So discharge function with due regard to diversity of the nation or community and religion, but without discrimination on ground of caste, that is impartiality. Extreme in detail I discussed this, and which is very necessary for governance to appear fair, that government doesn't give anyone privileged treatment, treats everyone with equality before law. So, and there I told you impartiality means having national outlook. Okay, and if you want to be impartial, then you need to be objective in decision making. So discharge function with due regard to diversity of the nation. Keep your subjectivity out, your opinion, biases, everything out, and don't treat any person based on his identity. When you join service, I told you your identity should be that is, I am citizen of India or bureaucrat of India, and every person coming into your office as a citizen of India. So treat everyone without discrimination of caste, community, religion, gender, class, and duly protecting interest of poor, underprivileged and weaker section. Then provide honest, impartial and frank advice to political executive. Okay, so provide honest, impartial and frank advice, which is, I told you, sub part of political neutrality. So there I explain this angle also, that you should not be making as a bureaucrat any comment on any policy decision or in favor of any political party. You should keep politics out of your job and job out of the politics. But when political executive is over, you report to political executive, whatever decision he takes, you should be analyzing that decision with political neutrality and give your frank and free advice. Okay, objective advice, rational advice, factual advice, and guide the minister. And after that, after your advice, whatever decision he takes, which may not be the same decision that you asked him to take, or decision which you don't like, still, okay, you should be executing that decision with neutrality and impartiality. So provide honest, impartial, frank advice to the political executive and ensure that public money is used with utmost economy and care. So this also we have discussed. Okay, 8 E's of good governance. उसमें first to economy efficiency, that is using public money with economy and care. And there also I have discussed extended ideas like आपका entrepreneurship. You should know how to make money for the government. You should be leader, strategic, innovative. Okay, a strategic leader who doesn't waste government's resources. So all these ideas also overlapping. I have discussed in detail that you need to be economical, you need to be efficient in governance. But I told you economic efficiency is not the goal of a governance. Primary goal, because private sector mein economic efficiency is primary goals, but government sector mein you need to be effective also. Your efficiency should not be at the cost of justice, social justice. So economic efficiency and effectiveness, and then remaining ease of governance, I told you, ethos and ethics, equality and equity, and engagement. So you need to think about all other aspects of good governance. Economy and efficiency are 2 aspects of good governance. They are not the all aspects of good governance. But guys, so what I wanted to show in this bill, that whatever this bill talked about, though this bill has been lapsed, okay, whatever point it was covering, we have discussed everything. So I told you in the beginning, guys, other than my app classes and notes I give you, you don't have to study anything else. My app classes, my notes will be covering everything. Okay, and if it is not in my app classes or notes, whatever content I am teaching, then you don't have to worry. It won't be in the classes of any coaching institute anywhere in the world. Okay, and so the public service bill has not made any headway and seems to have gone in a cold storage. And so one problem with the draft bill was that it intended to fulfill too many objectives. A lot of areas it focused, and more problematically, apart from values and ethics, bill envisaged to lay down principle of management of public services. They went into management of public services and also principles which should govern appointment of public service and performance indicator for public services. And along with values, it's tried to cover these 3 aspects also: management of public service, appointments regarding public service, and performance indicator regarding public service. And because of that, guys, okay, this bill was trying to cover a lot of areas, and and terms defined in the bill were quite open-ended. Okay, bill could not sustain and got lapsed. Okay, so with such a wide-ranging and diverse coverage of matters relating to service matter, it is difficult to reach consensus and secure legislative approval, and that's why this bill got lapsed. But doesn't matter. My point was only while discussing this bill was that we have covered everything thoroughly in our app classes. Whatever values this bill mentioned, not only this, I have covered many more values that are not even in this bill in our app classes, like dynamism in civil service, okay, leadership style, strategic, innovative, transformational, that we discussed. Okay, so then this civil service orientation, which was indirectly mentioned in the bill. So many values I have discussed which are not covered in this bill also. So that's all. Just you need to do is study these notes well, listen to my classes well, and after that do lot of writing practice, answer writing practice. Then nothing will stop you getting 140, 150 in ethics paper. Okay, so thanks for listening guys, and stay tuned and check out my other videos I told you on YouTube, my shorts, YouTube shorts on YouTube, that will be helpful for your prelims preparation. And along with that, my strategy based lectures on YouTube, and also I will be launching essay classes, so stay tuned for those essay classes on app also. And along with that, I will be launching history ka complete course, so do stay tuned for those courses also. So thanks for listening guys.